Thank you very much, Lynn. Next up is Brad Pickel. Brad is the Executive Director for the Atlantic Intracoastal Waterway Association. Thank you, Brad.
Good morning, everyone, and I also want to start by thanking Todd, Jeff, and all of you who brought us here. As the Executive Director of the Atlantic Intracoastal Waterway Association, we fall in that non-governmental organization standpoint, but I think the breach that we try to fill is a collaboration. We were so appreciative of the opportunity for Todd to participate in meetings and then have Todd and Dr. Brian Bledsoe from the University of Georgia, who I know the Dean is going to speak in a minute, so I won't steal their thunder, but they participated in our meeting, and where what we try to do is bring together the stakeholders of what is one of the largest marine highways in the United States. And it's really important to think of projects like this and how do we keep that waterway open. The reason why I bring that up is how many people in this room like to go out on a Monday morning around 7:30 a.m. for a joyride around the Beltway. Literally get in your car for a joyride. I would reckon to guess there won't be a single person in this room that lives in this area that would choose that. However, from a cultural, societal standpoint, we are a maritime nation. And the 1,100-mile-long marine highway that runs from Norfolk down through Florida, or the way that we consider it even in a larger perspective, all the way up through Boston, it is enjoyed by all of us, by many of us, whether or not we're waiting on those packages to come from a European nation, or from even further in the Far East, or whether or not you're one of those 14,000 people taking a trip right now from the Northeast down to Florida as snowbirds. The recreational value, the societal impacts by our waterway systems need to be maintained. And not to be a cynic in all of this, because I won't be, I think we have to be more curious intellectually in solving these problems. And this book is a guide for that. And for $19.99, I will sell you an autographed copy. No, I think we can get all the copies we need, and I say that in jest, but I say that in all honesty, that we have to share this information. Because it does point out so many different projects that are going on. One that is closer to my heart and I am more fond of is the work on Mordecai Island, which has already been spoken about. But I want to see more of those projects along our inland waterway systems. We have a number of those, and one or two, actually I believe this one may be the one in the Mississippi River. So we have those that are being executed in our inland waterway systems. And that's going to be critical because we need to treat all of our natural components as resources. There is no such thing as spoiled. And so when we think of how are we going to increase better maritime transportation in this nation, we need to think about how can we better utilize that as a resource to do things like marsh habitat restoration, environmental habilitation and creation. We have opportunities to take every grain of sand or every blade of grass and make it valuable to all of us. As a marine scientist, I am also overjoyed because as a master's project, dating myself here, in 1997 I did a living shoreline before they were cool. And so I have a personal feeling very strongly about better utilizing all our resources. But at the same time, I will end with collaboration. We are often the people called in when our federal and state partners may not be playing well in the sandbox. But I want to tell you one quick success story, and that's Jekyll Island, Florida, where we will be doing a beneficial use project supposed to be awarded for contract in the next few weeks. And the idea of that project was to bring the Nature Conservancy in the area, a local island authority, the Jekyll Island Authority. For those of you familiar, in Brunswick, Georgia, you have Jekyll Island. And also the local government, the state agencies, the permitting groups, and everybody together to say, how can we treat this as a resource? And what we're doing is we're building marsh habitat. We're following the Mordecai example. And so we're excited to use the examples that come out of the Atlas, both show the public and to execute. And we're grateful for all the work taking place here with you, and we look forward to partnering as we go forward. Thank you.